All right, it's Monday, March 30th, 2020, and I traded one trade already today, but I wanted to look at Abbott because that was moving in the pre-market and it had a lot of good stuff going on. You can see at 9 o'clock this was a really good place to enter if you were able to get it. I think it wasn't too spready. I just didn't have the guts to do it at this point because you can see it was moving kind of bouncy a little bit, but it had a lot of volume. I think it was up on news regarding coronavirus, so that was enough to move it. You can see if you got in here as the VWAP was crossing the 200 moving average on a 1-minute chart, you could have ridden it up all the way to 83 from about 81, 88, over 83 really, and then it started bouncing off VWAP and making tons of moves, and then it dropped at the open. So Abbott was a big one today. Eventually I might start taking trades like this, but it's harder to play, especially when it just moves so quickly. I took Uber, and Uber was in my pre-market scan. I think it's still in one of my scans. Not really 100% sure if it's still in there. Either way, it was in one of my scans here. I think it's probably not in there right now because of volume. It was a good one. So here's why I took it. Well, first off, actually, I had a losing trade on AMD. I misplayed AMD. AMD I took right here. I thought it was breaking out. You can see it had some decent volume in the pre-market, and at 9:30 had a green candle with a bottoming wick, and then it shot up for an opening 1-minute opening range break. Could have gotten about 30 cents out of it. I bought into it right here at 47.63. And then it just dropped on me there, and this was stupid because it was too far away from VWAP. I should have known better. I thought maybe because it's AMD it was going to have a big surge, because that's what it's been doing lately. It's been moving pretty well, but it's also been moving with the SPY, so the SPY can kind of cause it to do some crazy things. So I didn't play that right, and I got out small loss. I got in at 63, got out at about 48. So just like 15 cents. It wasn't a huge loss for me, but it was just a stupid move to get into just because it was just too far away from VWAP, and there's too many. The wick action here was kind of crazy. So, but I took Uber, and Uber was a really good trade. That was also in the pre-market. So at the open, just like a lot of stocks, it surged at the open, but then just like AMD, bottomed out, and then as the SPY started making a move. It started moving up. I almost got in here when I saw this little indecision doji at the top of this. Is a little bull flag right here. Could have gotten in here at 25.93, ridden it up, maybe almost like 50 cents. Then it would have backed out right through VWAP again, but it reclaimed VWAP here, and that was another instance where I almost got in because it's got the 200 moving average above it, and it's holding VWAP at this point. But I waited until it cleared the 200, got in at 26.41, rode it up to 26.60, so I got 19 cents. That wasn't my 2R yet. I kind of got nervous. I only took about like a fifth of my shares out, barely even that, for just to lock in some profit. So I got 19 cent gain on that at 26, what did I say, 659, 60, something around there. Then it went up to past my first target, which was my 2R, which was 26.67. I took some out at 26.77, so I got 10 cents above my 2R, and then I just said, you know what, I already got profit locked in. I'm green for the day, no matter. And I also moved my stop up to my break even at this point, which is a really nice place to put it, because if it came back down to here, it was probably going to shoot right back through to VWAP at that point. So I put my stop right up at break even. It kept moving up, and I had an automatic sell for the rest of my shares at 26.91. Because that was about 50 cents above where I got in, and I hadn't taken a trade and held it to 50 cents above my entry in a while. So I just wanted to lock that in. Also because you can see the top of this little range here, right at the opening range was right there. So I thought it might reject it, come back down, but in fact it actually did an opening range break and busted through it and went up over $1 from where I got in, which was, if I held those shares, that would have been an amazing run. But this was like a baby step move for me because I held on to my shares. I didn't back out. I didn't say, all right, let me just lock everything in and get out all my shares at my first target or even at my second target. It got above my first two targets and got up to the 50 cent mark, which is, to me, is big. So I got out my shares there, and then it ran up. This tells me I also identified a nice mover here. So if I start taking more shares, I can hold on to even more and maybe take advantage of that. But this more than made up for my loss at the beginning of the day for AMD. So I was very, very happy with this move. but it had a lot of things going for it. Breaking VWAP for a second time, getting above 200-day, I'm sorry, 200 moving average on this 1 minute chart. It was a really good mover. So yeah, I could have taken advantage of a bigger move here, but this for me was a nice move. So that is the trade, and I will hopefully probably just look for good movers for the rest of the day. And if nothing shows up, then I'm still green for the day. I'll be happy.